I know from some of the emails that I got from people last time that people were having some really exciting, wonderful, and intense experiences with the Hathors. So just be open to how they are connecting with you tonight. Um, we have all these different senses, and we want to be able to utilize all of them to the best of our ability so that we don't miss anything. So, some of you are very auditory. You may hear conversations, you may hear tones, sounds, frequencies. Others of you are very visual. You may see colors, you may see lights, you may see figures, you may whatever. Still, others of you are more multi-sensory, so you may be smelling like the richness of flowers or tasting fruit that it's just at its peak of ripeness. Your skin may be just dimpled with goosebumps or truth bumps, depending on how you feel that. And many people just have this knowing without knowing how they know anything. So any of those are honest because they're helping you to connect in the way that is right for you. So be aware of that in tonight's activation because my sense is that with each activation, because we're having more and more people on the calls, at least whether you're live or listening to the recording really doesn't matter because it's your intention that has brought you here. But with each time that we're getting together, the activations are going to get deeper and richer and more profound. And of course, they're not going to be just affecting us personally, even though we're the ones receiving it. We are affecting everybody around us. Everybody will be helping to raise their vibration as well through what we are doing. So know that you are making a huge difference just by saying yes to this activation. Whether or not you're on live really is irrelevant, although I really like to do things live. But recordings are fine. They're just as powerful because you have said yes, you put your intention into it, and you will receive everything that you would receive if you were live. So by us saying yes and showing up one way or the other, we are making a difference in the world. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for making a difference in the world. Sometimes it's hard to believe that just, maybe a small group or even just what one individual is going through can really affect change. But it's vibrational. It's quantum, if you will. So it's happening on minute cellular points that we can't really see, but we might be lucky enough to sense. And the world is speeding up, our vibrations are raising. We are being called to step into a new way of our highest destiny. And so let's just do it gracefully and with ease. All right. Wow. So nice to see you guys chatting in here. Oh, this is wonderful. And I know there's lots more people on the call that haven't signed in yet, but that's okay. So happy to have you here. If this is your first time, if you were not able to be on the call or listen to the recording from the first Hathor activation, let me just say that I will be sending the link for that, not the YouTube link, but your personal private link for that, so that you can catch up on the background of how this all started. There are marvelous synchronicities that have brought the Hathors into my life, and it really started in 2005, even though I didn't know it. But actively, I've been working with them since 2012. And then more recently, in the last 6 months, with a group of people that the Hathors hand selected for us to work together in our own activations. And then just last month, the Hathors said, okay, it's time for us to really bring this to the world and invite more people to raise the vibration faster because time is of the essence. So the first activation meditation will have that background for you, and I don't want to take the time to repeat it tonight, but I do want you to be able to listen to it if you're interested. So I'll be sending that link to you when I send the link to the recording for this. So, for those of you not familiar with the Hathors, these are fifth through 12th dimensional beings. And they tend to work with teachers or people who have the teacher calling within their heart and their soul. That doesn't mean that you're actively teaching at this moment. What it means is that you have that ability to turn and share your knowledge and wisdom with whoever, whenever. It doesn't have to be a formal teaching setting. It could be standing in line at the grocery store and you turn around and you start talking to someone about something you learned and they go, oh my gosh, that was exactly what I needed to hear. So it can be an informal type of teacher. And not that they only talk to teachers, it's just that that seems to be who resonates with their energy the most. And of course, we all have different aspects of our soul purpose that we are fulfilling in this lifetime. And so that's all being honored as well. But really, the reason we're connecting with the Hathors to raise our vibration is to help create the new earth and to create the bridge so that those who are consciously or unconsciously migrating to the new earth are able to do so through raising their vibration, through living at a higher consciousness place. The new Earth, for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, is like a parallel planet. And it was created with intention and attention back in 2005, to the best of my knowledge. Maybe aspects of it were created before that, but that's my awareness of it. And there are only two premises behind the new earth. One is that the beings who migrate there are filled with unconditional love and that they are higher self driven. Now, some of you may feel like you're already at that place. And if so, you're probably going to be one of the first ones that go and migrate over, which is wonderful because then you'll be able to turn around and greet those who are coming to that new place whenever their time is perfect and divine for them. Others of you are meant to stay here and help raise the vibration so people can move over there and migrate there when they're ready. And still others, and I suspect I'm in this last group, are to stay here for a while, helping to raise the vibration of all beings who it might be an alignment for them to come on over. So I think I'm going to be here for a while. That's my sense. I'm not going to be on that first wave. Darn. But it's all perfect because we all have our things to do. And it doesn't matter what you're already doing for your soul purpose. Remember that your soul purpose is an alignment between your heart and your soul. And it's what makes you feel really, really good and makes you say to yourself, I am here to serve. I'm here to make a difference. And this is what trips my trigger. And I know I can do that for as many people as possible. So for me, teaching is definitely that calling for me. And it doesn't matter what you teach or how you teach, just that you're teaching, if that is your calling. But whatever your soul purpose is, it doesn't matter. You could be an accountant, you could be an attorney, you could be a healer, you could be a tarot reader. It doesn't matter. It just matters that we are honoring and recognizing what our soul purpose is and making room for it in our life, because that will continue to feed us and raise our vibration. What the Hathors are offering us tonight, and I think in subsequent meditations and maybe some slightly different ways, is a way to reach our highest destiny. Now, that might not happen all tonight, but it might. It just depends on where you are and how fast you've gotten there. Um, I tend to see this as a stepping stone for reaching our highest destiny. The Hathors are known for singing to their own children songs and singing vibrations and frequencies that help their children to reach their highest destiny, no matter what that means. And they have offered to do that for us as well, because as we raise our vibration and step into our highest destiny, we are affecting the greatest change within this planet and the parallel planet, if that is your calling to go there consciously or unconsciously. So this is a huge gift. It helps us to recognize, honor, and make room for our soul purpose in even greater ways of being. So I talked a little bit about the different ways that you might perceive the Hathors as they help us to step into our highest destiny, whether you're visual or auditory or multisensory or have that knowing without knowing how you know, that it's like a DNA activation that there just are no words for. What is actually happening when the Hathors are working with us is that they are speaking with heart language. And heart language is not linear, like I'm speaking to you right now. It's not a brain wave, it's a heart wave. And it's more of a knowing, and it's like an awareness and an understanding without words. The words will come later, but just know that if you're feeling peaceful and complete and just like, oh yeah, this feels good, they're speaking that heart language to you and you're receiving it, and it will make sense to you when it needs to make sense to you, but just enjoy it for right now. Don't worry about, oh my gosh, am I missing something, am I getting everything, what you know. Sometimes our monkey mind can jump in and really play games with us. So don't let that happen. Just go, I am receiving exactly what I'm receiving, even if you're not completely conscious and aware of what that might be. It is helping you to reach your highest destiny. We are so blessed to have them help us with this. Let's see here. I wanted to make sure I was covering everything that they were telling me they were going to be covering. Um, Gosh, if you haven't had a chance to work with the Hathors, like if you weren't on the call last time, or maybe you haven't ever had the chance to work with them, think of it as like being greeted by benevolent parents who love you so unconditionally, it's almost beyond our understanding. When they come into your energy space, you feel this warmth and you feel this love and this support. And that's, I mean, those are like the two key words for working with the Hathors. It's loving support. So for some of you, maybe you've never ever had that in your life, and this would be a first. So it may feel kind of strange if you've never known that before. But just again, be open with all of your senses in whatever way is right for you so that you can receive what you need to receive in order to help step you on your path to your highest destiny. They have assured me that everybody on the call and listening to the recording has between 1 and 3 Hathors that will be working actively with you tonight. So for some of you, you're going to be receiving what they call a DNA activation, which means it's an alignment. It's like correcting a misalignment, not that you did anything wrong. Sometimes there is a misalignment between our heart and our soul based on our experiences that have been traumatic. It kind of knocks something out of loop, you know? And so all they're doing is healing the trauma without you having to repeat it, and then bring it back in alignment, bringing your heart and your soul back in alignment for you so that you can honor and recognize your soul purpose and make room for it. So some of you will be receiving that DNA alignment. How will you know if that's what you're receiving? Well, I find that there's like a tingling that seems to be going up and down your spine. And some of you may already be feeling it because they have a tendency to start their work ahead of time just by our intention of connecting. So sometimes it's through a tingling that goes up and down your spine. Sometimes it's more of a, like if you're visual, you may see it as like little tiny lights that just are like all over your body or in every cell, like every cell is just lighting up for you. Some of you may smell like flowers, the scent of really revered flowers, or you may have that taste of something that's just pure and lovely in your mouth. Your skin may be just rippling with goosebumps. I mean, and then there's that knowing without knowing how you know type of thing. So those are just some of the ways you may know if you're having a DNA activation. You can, of course, ask for one if you think you need one, but remember, they already pretty much have you figured out and they know exactly what you need and they're going to give it to you. So maybe you'll get everything, maybe you won't. Um, some of you also, besides a DNA activation, you may be getting a mini soul retrieval, which is very interesting to me that they would choose to do this. Now, let me explain what a soul retrieval is so that you have a better understanding of what might be happening for you. I mean, we all have traumatic experiences. I don't think there's anybody on this planet that hasn't had a traumatic experience. But what happens is we have some really smart parts within us. And these smart parts see it coming before it gets there. It's like seeing that there's going to be a car accident and you don't want to be there, right? You can kind of see that car just kind of start to spiral towards you. It goes in slow motion. And that part or parts, they see some trauma coming and they go, I'm out of here. I'm not going to go through that. I'm not going to go through that. And so they leave. The problem is that these parts are leaving with part of your essence or part of your gifts, and then they don't know how to come back. So people who have soul loss will say things like, ever since that car accident, or ever since my divorce, or ever since whatever that event might be, they can pinpoint it, and they will say, I have never felt the same since. They might say, I've been depressed. I haven't felt whole. I haven't felt well. They have a whole list of things that have not gone right since one event. Most people are very aware of the event that might have caused soul loss for them, unless it happened at a very young age, like less than 3. Um, so in doing a soul retrieval, what the Hathors are doing, for the few of you that are going to be receiving that, is kind of going around and gathering your lost parts and their gifts and showing them that you are now in a different place, that you're in a place more of love and empowerment, and that trauma that caused them to leave is not going to happen again. So it's safe for these parts to come back and integrate with you. And as they do, they bring back those gifts of yourself so that you suddenly find yourself with a zest for life again and wanting to do something different. Maybe in the back of your mind, you were saying to yourself, gosh, I always wanted to paint, or I always wanted to dance, and I've never done that. Or I always wanted to work with horses, and I've never done that. Whatever it might be, right? So all of a sudden, if you have that secret unfulfilled desire, bringing back the lost parts of self can help you to step more fully into that level of fullness and completeness of being, so that you can recognize your soul purpose, honor your soul purpose, and make room for it now in an even deeper, more profound way to help you reach your highest destiny. So they are really helping you heal anything that might prevent you from stepping into your highest destiny, that might prevent you from making room for your soul purpose in this lifetime at this time. So DNA activation is one way, soul retrieval is another way. And there's a third thing that they're saying, besides just general messages or whatever, you might need that would make sense to you at this time. Sometimes you're getting some really strong guidance so that you can take inspired action. That's just a given. But these other things, these are like unique to tonight. So the DNA activation, the soul retrieval, and then the third thing that may happen, um, I'm waiting for the right word to come in. Hmm, Boy, I don't even have a word for it. I don't know how to describe it. It's oh, okay. They say it's like a deep cleaning. So in our language, we might call it cellular memory release and healing, but they call it a deep cleaning because it goes far beyond our understanding of what that is. Probably you will not have any words for this when it's happening. You're just going to know that something really profound is happening. And believe me, when they're doing it, it's gentle, it's easy, it's profound, it's transformational, and it will make such a huge difference in your life immediately that old patterns that have been stuck and in your way are just going to fall away with grace and ease. You'll be looking at a completely different life tomorrow, by the time it's done integrating, when they're done with their deep cleaning. So I suspect probably all of us are going to get a deep cleaning, but I don't know that for sure. So just be open with all of your senses as to how your life is about to change for your highest destiny, and honor that within yourself. Now, let me talk just a little bit about integration, and then I'll give you the outline of what we're going to do, and then we're going to jump in and do it. Integration is a really important part of these activations. Integration means that you are taking the time to sit with us and to be with us and to look into your heart and say, wow, what just happened? and and to ask, ask your guides, ask your angels, ask whoever you work with for help and support in understanding this. You can always ask the Hathors, of course, too, but sometimes, we need that more familiar sense of who we normally work with. So ask whoever you're comfortable with for help in integrating this on all levels of your being throughout all lifetimes, all levels, all dimensions. Now that sounds kind of overwhelming, and you're probably starting to go, oh my gosh, I can feel it already, because I'm feeling it already. So I know it's already happening. But the integration needs to happen in order for you to get the most out of this. Otherwise, we're walking away and going, well, that was a cool meditation, and then we forget about it the next day. But that's not what this is about. This is about, how do you live at a higher vibration? How do you live at a higher consciousness now that you have had this activation, right? Because your life is about to change, and I can't predict how it's going to change. I can just tell you it is going to change. It is going to be for your highest destiny. It's going to be for your highest good and healing, but it is going to change, and sometimes change is not really comfortable. So the more you can integrate the changes and sit with them and be with them and really just ask for help if you need that help, the better your reaction to this activation is going to be, and the better your life is going to be. Remember, as we raise our vibration and we raise our consciousness, we're stepping into a higher vibrational rate of being in the quantum field, which means that everything gets easier, everything gets faster, and manifestation is instant, right? So we're going to be very mindful of our thoughts and always act from a loving state, which is how we begin and how we end this meditation activation with the Hathors, which is how we do everything anymore. Because once you have reached a certain level of being, there is only love. There is only love. And that's how we begin and do everything. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to turn off my video and invite you to turn off your video. I'm going to guide you into being in a high state of love, because that allows your heart to open up so that you can give and receive, and you are definitely going to be receiving. You may be receiving all three of those wonderful gifts from the Hathors, or you may just be receiving one. You may just get messages. There's nothing simple about anything that they do. So don't feel disappointed by anything that you receive. You are getting exactly what is for your highest good and healing, and exactly what's in alignment for your heart and your soul. And you will be very happy with it. I can promise you that. There may just be a little integration time where you go, woo, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay. So at the end then too, just like last time, I would encourage you not to talk with each other. I know there's a tendency to want to do that, but that can take us out of our personal integration too fast. And so I'm going to sit with that in silence until the Hathors say, okay, we are done. Now, the integration may take longer than that for everybody, and that's fine. So I'll stay on for a little bit, and then I'll end the meeting You stay in that space for as long as you need to, because that's the most important thing, is that integration, so that you can really take this to the highest level for yourself. All righty. Any questions? You can raise your hand. There's a little hand at the bottom of the screen, or you can put it in the chat, or you can simply unmute yourself and say, hey, I got a question. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody here. All right, cool. All right, are we ready? Woo. Okay, I'm going to stop my video. I invite you to stop yours too, because I think it can just be really distracting, and especially me, I talk with my hands a lot, so you don't need to be watching that when you're meant to be receiving. So, yes, please add an intention for the young people in Moore and Flagstaff who are facing fire and feeling a lot of stress. And I think probably everybody in the world is feeling stress for various reasons. So how about if we just hold the intention for the highest good and healing for all that are around us, all that we are connected to, all that we affect through our change in our vibration and consciousness. Thank you for that. All right, and so it is. Whew. I invite you to get comfortable. And by comfortable, that means like sitting in a position that you don't mind holding for maybe 15, 20 minutes. It may be longer, so just make sure you're really comfortable. And you don't want to be forcing yourself into a position that, you know, starts to get stiff or sore, or that your legs go to sleep, or anything like that. So you know what that is, and just allow yourself to find that and settle into that to the best of your ability. Oh, and I hear rain. Thank you. What a beautiful cleansing we are having. We need rain desperately. Okay. So just turn your awareness to that energetic space of your heart, which technically is located slightly behind your physical heart. It's an energetic space that everybody has, and everybody knows exactly where theirs is. So just locate that and begin to breathe into it. Because when you breathe into it, what you're doing is just kind of energizing that space and bringing it to life. Our energetic heart space holds all of our experiences, our records of our experiences, our goals, our aspirations, our soul purposes that we've lived in every lifetime. And then each lifetime, each subsequent lifetime, we just keep adding to that and get better at what we're doing, and better at what we're doing, and better at what we're doing, because we're bringing in all that past knowledge and awareness. And now we have more experiences to add to it. So that's how it gets better and better. And that's why it's easier for us to reach our highest destiny at this point, because we've had a lot of vast experiences with our soul purpose. Yay. All right. And to the best of your ability, as you're breathing in and energizing this space and bringing it to life, I invite you to begin feeling, sensing, knowing thoughts of love to the best of your ability. Now, for some of us, maybe we've never had an experience of unconditional love with a person or a deity or a being. So maybe that has happened for you, though, with an animal, like a four-legged or a bird or even a fish. I've known people to be very connected to their fish. So if you have had that experience in whatever way, just begin bringing that awareness and that love into your energetic heart space. And just by your intention and your awareness, you are amplifying that love within that space. remembering what it felt, remembering significant experiences. Maybe it was an experience in which you were in nature, in the wild, and it was just you and nature, and it just felt so perfect, and you were so connected to all life everywhere. And if that's what really trips you, then go ahead and amplify that, bring that in and really amplify that into your energetic space. Or maybe you felt this love maybe through a relationship with someone. Maybe it was possible in this lifetime or another lifetime. Maybe it was more like a brother or sister or deep friendship, where it was just love and acceptance, no judgment. And maybe you've had that with the divine. Maybe there was a time in which you truly felt that just pouring through you. And if so, just amplify that. And if all of these just seem way too hard for you today, just hold the intention that you are filling yourself with unconditional love. And that intention is enough. And as we amplify our intentions of love within ourselves, what happens is that love starts to grow and expand within our space, within our heart space, until it's completely filling your physical body. Kind of like when you pour water into a glass and it fills from the bottoms of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. And so hide no place from that love. Every cell in your body deserves this. Every cell in your body wants this. And as it reaches the top of your head, of course, it's going to spill over into your energy field, into every layer of your energy field, one at a time, filling up from the bottom all the way up to the top and spilling over. So your emotional body is feeling this love, and your mental body is feeling this love, and your spiritual body is feeling this love until you're just like wrapped in cotton wool. It feels so good to just feel that all around you and hiding no place from this love. And I invite you to just sit with that for a moment to really appreciate that feeling. If you did nothing else tonight, this is enough. This is a great way to start every day or end every day. This is a great way to raise your vibration and raise your consciousness just by doing this on a daily basis. I feel how good that feels. And some of you may be hearing thunder in the background, which is really wonderful. Now the Hathors have already come in and they are greeting you in the way that is right for you. So some of you may feel a touch on your shoulder, or again, you may be seeing things, hearing things, sensing things, knowing things. And you may be in that space of higher wisdom, higher knowledge, the place without words, where you just are. And they are just doing whatever is for your highest good and healing. It's a very peaceful, loving place. It's kind, it's gentle, it's loving. And I'll be really quiet other than the thunder in the background so that you can really step into this with all of your senses. You are receiving exactly what is for your highest good and healing tonight. Helping you to recognize, honor, and make room for your soul purpose in whatever way is right for you. Helping you to reach your highest destiny. And just really sitting with that and being with that in that state of love as the Hathors are directing your soul purpose energy towards your highest destiny through either deep cleaning, soul retrieval, or DNA activation, or all of the above. It does not take them a long time. So many of you probably are feeling complete for now, other than the integration. And some of you are still finishing. So I invite you to just stay in that place of integration and love. Just be with that and know that the words will come when you need them. The understanding will be there when you need that. Everything you need is available to you. Thank you for making a huge difference in this world and in the new earth. And so it is. Namaste.